All right, hey guys, William Saunders here. So I'm going to give you guys some analysis. Okay, so this is for my new charting service that I got coming out. I think it'll be out like in another week or so. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is doing charting similar to this one, where I would mark up my charts and send those markups to my list of subscribers. Okay, and I'll probably do, I want to say maybe something every week, whether that's one group of charting, or like maybe one or two or something like that or whatever. And the other aspect of it is going to be where another side of my subscribers can actually sit in and watch me trade, okay, while I'm taking trades and all of that stuff and everything of that sort. Okay. Now, the one free one per month I'll be doing is kind of like this one, where I'll just do a pre-analysis and then post it to the public, and you guys have that and you can just work with it. And I think throughout the month later on, it'll be something where I give a pre-analysis and then I would wait and let the market to move into my favor and then do a video update all within like the same video. So that means you guys won't be able to follow those trades, but you'd have seen what you guys missed out from not using my services. Okay. All right, now essentially, if don't worry too much about the colors, but green essentially is a buy and red is a sell. Okay, so I have a couple parameters just based off of varied time frames, and this is out of USD, and that's the reason why I have some reds there and all that stuff, whatever the case may be. Now, if I can take a look here, this was indeed a valid buy, and I know exactly how far I would have bought up and everything of that sort. Okay, so that buy is still kind of like essentially valid, but I'm waiting for a few more functions to actually happen in order for me to use that as a valid point to continue to take buy trades. Okay, but for now, what I can tell you guys definitely is these sell perimeters are still valid right now, as they're still happening and everything of that sort. And then more than likely, once something happened, I'm waiting for a specific function to happen, this gray perimeter that you actually see here will become a sell as well. Okay, but I'm waiting for, well, I'll just mark it off as a sell right now because it's already doing something that I already request. Okay, so yeah, so my sells would be from this point, that point, that point. I'm not going to tell you guys where you would get out of this sell trade and all that stuff. It's not one of those type of analysis deals, or you can just pretty much take it down to like your next relevant bottom, like without a doubt, and kind of like that whole thing. I'm more about instant market functions compared to projected and that whole deal. Like for instance, if the market, there's opportunity to buy, okay? Like you can buy above here, but it'll only buy up to this level, which is roughly 20 to 40 pips, or it'll buy up just slightly a little bit higher above there. You know what I mean? So if I wanted to, I can place a buy trade above here right now and have my sell trade right here. That's if I wanted to, and in some cases I will do that. And that's when I'm actually keeping an eye up on the market. But when I just kind of want to set and forget and set my perimeters, is something of this function here. So I'll just kind of set that or whatever. So this is what out of USD. Now moving over to my USD JPY here, there's a lot going on, a lot of opportunities that's actually going on with the USD JPY. Okay, so I'm waiting for a specific function to actually occur, and then I can validate that that would be a sell from here to here. Now understand this, and I want you guys to pay attention. As soon as the market moved from this range right here at this rate, it will come down here at least 89 pips pretty easy. Okay, so we refer to this as a settlement within a settlement. Okay, which is pretty much very, very guaranteed. And the same thing happens from this rate down to this rate. Okay, so that's 423 pips within a gap. Rest assured is going to come pretty deep within there once the market actually get done turning around. Understand this. If I buy or want to buy, it's essentially I can buy up to this perimeter here, which is good for, 58 pips, or I can buy up to here, which is 136 pips. Now understand, that is the temporary trend or the temporary order to make money. The real one are your sells down here, okay? So that means to me that the market is temporarily buying up to those regions. So yeah, it's good opportunity and everything that I can take, or whatever the case may be, but the real trend is not an uptrend. The real trend is when the market turns back around and goes down to here, 500-600 pips and everything of that sort. Okay, so pay attention to that as you guys begin to turn around and see, and let me just pop this down here. So that's really good. And that 1 hour is right here. So you guys can see, yeah, that sell actually triggered in from that date right through here and down to there. Pretty easy, you know, roughly 50 to 60 pips, pretty easy once it turn around. And as we can see, the time and date here, so you guys can know that this analysis is, you know, the date that I actually said it was, okay? Moving in, GBP USD is looking very lovely for some sell trades, okay? And I won't give my full take on the analysis, but I can tell you for the most part is within a trap range and phase, and it's just holding up orders near your relevant highs, but it's getting ready to come down, okay? Even if I decide to buy, let's say above here, then it will go from this point upwards to, let's say, this region, okay? Now, there's some more opportunity that I can buy up past, let's say 20 or 50 pips. There is indeed a lot more opportunity. But right now, that's not my focus point. And that's because the market just gave, let's say, from here to here, okay, 345 pips or whatever. So I know it's getting ready to turn around. It's like just about done with everything. So the most that it would need to take is maybe a 20 to 50 more pips upwards. And then it's going to cycle back through. Okay, and once that happens, it's going to reverse the trend and continue to do everything like that. Now, understand that is kind of like the perspective, but right now, setting up really, really good for my sell opportunities and what is known as a settlement within a settlement. So settlements are within settlements are like these, which are highly targeted, guaranteed type of trade setups. I can say once you have, let's say, a formation or a confirmation, you're like 98% guaranteed. Okay, like without it, like as you guys can see this right here or whatever, how it just shakes off and just hits this perimeter, it's like guaranteed like that, which means if the market was to just to do like overextended candles and slam down here pretty good, and then you would get where it kind of like do its pullback or something like that within that reach. But these are like the highest type of trade setups that are actually happening and everything of that nature. Okay, but so yeah, let's take a look. And I already did a previous one with the analysis back to there, so I'm keeping up with the market cycle. So I'll pay attention to the H4 daily time frame, excuse me, H4 time frame, and that will give you guys a lot more information. But your lower time frames are pretty much just trapping within ranges. So unless you're, let's say, selling from here back down to here, and then buying back up to here until it stop and then break outside of that, you guys are going to get caught within your trap. Okay, and I mean that's just what it's designed to do, is to really get, you know, people to place some buys through here and get triggered, and place some sells through here and get triggered, and then it reverses against you. And that's what the market is really set up to do. Okay, but outside from that, I'm telling you guys kind of like this whole function and that. Okay, now let's take a look here. How do you, well, this is Euro USD. And let me see. So I already have some perimeters kind of marked off and everything of that sort. So let me update this one here for a sell at this region. I'll just update that. Now let me tell you, outside from there was something going on. Okay, so if I buy from here, I'm buying up to these perimeters. So that's a really good opportunity of 20 to 50 pips and everything like that. Real trend is a sell trend. Okay, so it's going down, which means I want to sell from this rate to probably this rate for guaranteed of the highest odds of 20 pips. And then once it kind of, you know, let's say this, if the market comes back up to here for the buy and hit these parameters like that, then I'm going to plot this as a pending sell. Okay, so that's the way that my trading essentially is if the market goes up this direction, then I'm going to get ready to sell. And if I do want to buy it upwards, I know how far I'm buying upwards, but essentially I know the difference between the real trend and let's say the temporary trend of actually making money. Now, if I come out to here, put this there, put that, excuse the outside noise, I got my landscaping who's dealing with the property here. Okay, so let's take a look and see of that. So 15 minutes, 5 minutes is still looking pretty solid. So 15 minutes is actually right there. And understand this, I can actually I can set a pinning sell right here, and let's say I can do a pinning buy. And if I buy upwards, I'm going up to, let's say, these perimeters, okay? And then I'm going to close that buy again, and then open up another sell at this higher rate. And understand this sell would still be valid here, okay? So that's the way my trading is actually done. Now I understand that this sell is still valid down to, let's say, this region, and then I understand that a buy from this point is still valid up to this region or even that region. And then it would turn around and do a little bit more function. So those of you inquiring, this is known as Sage Arts and market laws, okay? So I don't use any other indicators or anything like that, or whatever the case may be with my charting setup. So I'll probably keep this, let's say, because like a 15-minute is, you can keep it on a 15-minute and watch how this function happens, but it's not really important on a 15-minute. Okay, so like the 4-hour will probably be a lot better, because that'll give time to see how this trends up to this region, which would show you the opportunity, and then even how, you know, the market turns back around and break past through here for that. So I'll probably keep that, and that's Euro USD. All right, now NZD USD here is looking, let me take a look here. So it's very, very great for NZD USD. As I can see, I have some setups. This is the full trap range of within that. This is the projected and everything of that sort. Now let me take a look, most relevant, everything. So yeah, if you see sell, if you see red, that means sell, okay? So sell perimeter here, sell perimeter here. When I tell you settlements within settlements or zone within zone, guys, is highly, highly, highly profitable trades, okay? So you see how the market is already turning around here. All right, now I expect if it comes up a little bit higher, it's probably good. Maybe, let me take a look here. Okay, so you can actually see from this point, it'll probably be good up until here, okay? So rise up another 24 pips. But when this bad boy turns around from here to here, you got just about a guaranteed 30 pips to say the least, okay? Which is pretty much triggered right now. And then once it kind of breaks a little bit lower and all that stuff or whatever, you're gonna make some money. And and I'll just keep this, like for me personally, I'll probably just watch it either on a daily, because there's a lot more information going on with the daily. But for you guys, you can keep it on the 4-hour, because that'll give you a lot more information as well, okay? To see that, okay, well, it's already been triggered for that sell right there based off of that sequence. What we have, let me take a look here. Yeah, so that cell is actually active right now. This cell would be active. So 4-hour, you'll be able to see. Okay, now with crude oil here, and understand this, I can chart any asset. It doesn't matter. Like I'm not like I can chart any asset. Some assets are going to be, let's say, a lot easier to chart, but others are going to be a lot harder due to the simple fact of manipulation that's going on within a market. Okay, and just other factors. Now, something like crude oil is just a little bit different. So we actually have some cells that's pretty much setting up, but for the most part, it could stay, I would say, stagnant and trapping within this range, which is good, right around 73 pips. Okay, so that's something else you would probably keep in mind. But understand this, that this is, I would probably place a sell here, and let's say if my sell is there, then I'll probably wait for a specific function and maybe take a buy here. And understand, if I buy, I'll probably buy up a good 100 pips, if not a little bit higher, and everything like that. If it starts to trap between this range of a couple different factors, which means it can just hold orders, then that's something else I would know how to deal with, okay? But outside from that, I'm still looking to sell from that point and probably come down a decent amount of pips, 50 to 100 pips to say the least, if not a lot more compared to other time frames and everything like that, okay? And that is essentially my charting that you guys actually have, okay? So just to recap really, really quick, out of USD, sell entries here, and even a sell entry here. This buy entry is due to a higher time frame, you know, which tells me if I sell once I get below this point, reanalyze the market to take another buy outside of this range, okay? Now understand this, sells right now going on. If the market breaks, let's say, above this perimeter or even this perimeter, I can take it upwards of here or here, okay? And then close that buy and then sell once it gets to that region. So that's what out of USD. USD JPY here, best one I would probably say is the 4-hour, okay? That way you guys have this perimeter here. It comes back down to there for 59 pips pretty easy. If it, truth be told, comes up above here, it'll probably come to this perimeter for good, solid, I want to say maybe 30 to 50 pips, really easy, okay? And let me say, and there's a specific function that we can actually use, and I would probably do it right here, that we would do if it does trigger and buy and all this stuff. So there's a way that we still can chart it, but at least you guys would have both that information here. And GBP USD is looking really great from this sell perimeter down to here. And as I stated, if it does come up a little bit higher, then you guys would actually be able to buy up to these sell regions, which is good. Maybe 20 to, I want to say 20 to 60 pips, and then turn back around and all this stuff, okay? Now, maybe like a week later, I'll give a little bit more update of that whole type of thing. Right now, this is looking good for the Euro USD, as if it's about to come down and drop, which is looking very satisfying. So this is a strong sell to sell, 20 pips to say the least, that you guys would hit. Okay, pretty easy. And in this case, I can still target buy, let's see, I can probably use this rate to buy upwards of here or here for minimum profits and all this stuff, or whatever the case may be, okay? Now, if it does something where, let's say, it triggers and opens that buy, and then it does another function, I'll close that buy out and all that stuff. So I'm not worried about the market coming, hitting a spike up to here, and then pulling way down below, and I'm stuck with a buy trade. Never that. I'm not worried about that, ever. Okay, in NZD USD, H4, as I said, if I correct that, yeah, this sell is currently active right now and dropping down for guaranteed 30 pips, okay, to say the least, within this week. Today is what, Monday? Okay, so yeah, so Monday it'll probably do that, or whatever the case may be for this week and drop down. If it does come, let's say above here, then it'll probably be good for another 20, I would state 20 to about 60 pips near this sell region once more and everything of that sort. But trust me, I would know if it's going up that high and everything. And then, as I said, we have this right here with that rate with the oil that's actually going on. And that currently just dropped down, X amount of pips. Okay. Now, yeah, okay, so I think that's just pretty much it. So I'll just do an update of this same analysis maybe in like a week or two time, and I'll post that, and you guys will be able to have like the feedback of what happened within a market. And then outside from that, my videos will just be, it'll show you this date just like this, and then I'll save it, and then you guys will be able to see like a week later, and that'll be all within the same video. Okay, but for now, with this video here, you guys are gonna get it. You'll just wait later on. I'll just get the analysis whenever I want to, and kind of like that whole fashion, especially that. But that'll kind of give you guys a insight and perspective in regards to my trading style, how it is. It's a lot different and all that stuff. You guys would probably want to get my charting services. Definitely, and if you, my charting service, I think it'll start anywhere from 100 a month to 150 a month. Okay. And it's going to be either charts that's going out that's marked like this and it's telling you what to do, or it's going to be videos like this. So 150, definitely videos like this. Okay, to sit in and trade with me, without a doubt, it's going to be at least $300 to $500 a month. Okay, so I'm not playing any games with like you smaller account guys that only got $200 in your accounts and all this stuff, who can't really afford my time and services and even be worthy of my skill set. Okay, it's nothing like that. I'm looking for high quality users, subscribers, students that have real money, okay, to load into their trading account to actually see the full potential of my analysis, okay, of my education. Because if you don't have money, oh my goodness, and don't get me wrong, you don't need a lot of money. You can start with $100, $200, and really grow that over time into a large amounts of money. I'm talking like $100 into like 1,000, then 1,000 to 10,000, and then 10,000 to 100,000. You can do this in 3 to 6 months, okay, when you have the knowledge, all right? But outside from that, I just want people that are not scarce of capital, okay? And when you're dealing with trading, you should be able to trade money and risk comfortably and just enjoy and learn properly and not just deal with all of the scarcity emotions and all this stuff or whatever due to your issues with lacking money, okay? So I don't want to deal with that. I want people that actually have capital, that can actually invest in their time, that can actually take my services very, very seriously and use my services and skill sets to its full potential, okay? And you have to be in a certain state of mind, all right, in order to do that. And I can tell you, you guys that, and put it this way, if you guys are having trouble financially in your own personal lives, okay, and I'm speaking from experience, if you're having trouble in your own personal lives financially, which means you can't save your regular money, your regular paychecks, you can't save your regular businesses and all this stuff, your checking accounts and all that stuff, and savings is going into the negative, 9 out of 10, when you start a trading account, it will reflect the same thing, which means you're going to be over trading, you're going to be placing larger lot sizes, you're going to be blowing trading accounts. Like, it's going to do the same thing, okay? 9 out of 10, unless you can separate the two. And a lot of times when people get into trading, understand this, they can't separate the two because they're doing it from their home. So they think it's something like a hobby or it's personal, and they don't take it serious like it's a career, like a job or business that they leave their place to and then, deal with, okay? So that's the differences, whatever the case may be. Not to say that the wealthy should stay wealthy, you know what I mean? And essentially that's why the rich gets richer and quote unquote, not to stereotype anything, but the poor stay poor, the poor get poorer is just from those personal habits and everything like that, okay? So outside from that, you guys have this pre-analysis. I wish you much success, of course, and happy trading. I want you guys to give me whatever feedback. So if you find this video on YouTube, give me some feedback and everything like that. Even compare it with your own analysis and see how they kind of compare. If you guys see this on Facebook, give me some of those feedbacks, give me some screenshots of you taking these trades and everything of that sort, okay? So I wish you guys much success, and of course, happy trading.